Merry Christmas, ho ho ho's. This week we're playing Budget Snow in Modern. The deck's about $100 in paper, 30 ticks on Magic Online. The deck list is on the screen now and it's in the description below. Everything in the main deck has Snow Matter synergies, and let's get into the games. Alright, round one of Modern Budget Snow. Let's see if this deck can win. I had a lot of fun playing with it, but definitely had mixed results. We're playing against a Giganta deck. This hand does not have green mana in the opener, but it does have a Frost Augur. I think I'm going to mulligan. Oh. I think I'll keep this one. So Giganta means they're probably either playing Tron or Affinity, so we're probably never going to get to... So we're probably never going to get to Marit Lage Slumber. Let's see. Alright. Let's go Forest, pass. Opponent is named Tron Walker. Maybe I should have used that as a hint. Alright, game one, I don't know if we have much of a way to race against Tron. We got a Boreal Druid, so we at least get to Glacial Revelation next turn. That's nice. Opponent's gonna have Tron on turn 3. That's fine. Nothing out of the ordinary. Glacial Revelation. Let's see what we get. Forest, Rimewood Falls, ice-fang, Codal, Ascendant Spirit. Okay, we only got one blue source, unfortunately. Let's get rid of Winter's Rest. See what terrible thing our opponent has for us. I don't think they even mulliganed at all, so they've probably got a bunch of finishers. Let's see. Oh, they Serum Powdered. Maybe they're playing Eldrazi? KGC could still be an Eldrazi Tron deck. We'll see, I guess. Opponent has Sundering Titan, that's annoying. That's gonna take us off of our blue mana again. What do we do? What do we do? One, two, 3. So opponent's for sure playing Sundering Titan on their turn. Let's go Abominable Treefolk. Nothing to target. That uses some of our blue mana at least. And the reason I played that instead of Conifer Worm is I want to pressure KGC a little bit. So if they wish again, it dies. Because I would really rather they didn't get like Carnal Liquimetal Coating directly after playing Sundering Titan. Sundering Titan blows up a Forest and a Rimewood Falls. Okie dokie. Still inconclusive whether this is regular Green Tron or... Well, actually, we can look at there. Okay, it is Green Tron. They have Doubling Season for some reason. So it's a weird Tron build is what it is. Okay. Interesting. Opponent gets a Walking Ballista. That's fine. We're probably going to Glacial Revelation. They trade Walking Ballista for Boreal Druid. Okay. We draw a snow-covered island, but we don't necessarily want it at this point. So we can tap down Sundering Titan with Abominable Tree Folk. Do I want to play ice-fang Codal or Ascendant Spirit this turn? I think Ascendant Spirit, since it's a bit more pressure. We can just take the 7 from Sundering Titan. Yeah, Sundering Titan's real good against us. We're only playing 2 colors, but we definitely want as many lands as possible, since they synergize so well with the rest of our deck. It's pretty important. They're playing Oath of Nissa. What the fuck? Okay, so let's see. They do have Sylvan Scrying, so they're not playing, like, the all-permanence Tron deck, which I thought they might be for a second there. I don't know, they're just playing a lot of weird cards that I don't normally see in Tron. I mean, I guess Oath of Nissa gets pretty much everything in the deck, but I don't know where the slots are coming from if you're also playing Ancient Stirrings, presumably. Ugin. All very upsetting. Alright, let's see what we draw, but we're getting our board wiped here. And that's bad. So opponent is playing Cascading Cataracts. I assume they have a decent amount of forests too. Let's play you. Play the Tree Folk. Sundering Titan can't attack for a turn. Ugin can still bolt us. It could -3, but there's no reason to. Opponent cracks a Chromatic Star. What are they playing? Opponent plays Samet for some reason. What does this even do? Gives creatures double strike and can deal damage. What the fuck, Ral Zarek? Okay, so they're playing a Planeswalkers Tron deck. Interesting. Opponent is about playing as weird of a deck as we are. So this can untap things, right? Yeah, so we could play... Yeah, we're just screwed. Let's concede. Go to sideboards. I wish I had more information about what our opponent's playing, because I'm sure these aren't the only weird cards that they have, if they're playing such a density of them. Let's bring in a couple negates. Let's bring in a couple void mirrors. Wilt, Nature's Claim, Nature's Claim. We can get rid of Marit Lage's Slumber, Marit Lage's Slumber. I'm not sure about Winter's Rest. We saw Sundering Titan out of the sideboard and we saw Wormcoil Engine in the main deck, but I don't think they have that many of those. So we can go down at least a couple. Let's cut a Conifer Worm. Still need to get rid of 2 cards. Probably just the other 2 Winter's Rests. Like, they can do something in this matchup, but I don't think it's consistent enough to worry that heavily about. And, I mean, hell, they're playing Ral Zarek, so Winter's Rest isn't even necessarily gonna stop things from attacking. So we'll see how that works out. Boreal Druid into the North ice-fang Codal. I mean, we might as well keep. Hopefully we draw some sideboard cards. Opponent Serum Powder mulligans. So they are playing Ancient Stirrings. And they're playing Pixis of Pandemonium in their main deck. What the hell? I'm thoroughly puzzled about what the fuck our opponent's doing with this Tron deck. Opponent mulligans to 5. So their Tron deck requires like double colored mana for a bunch of planeswalkers that don't, like, at least compared to Ugin and Karn Liberated, don't really do anything unless you're already winning. I really hope I can win at least one game against this Tron deck, because otherwise I'm going to be like thoroughly humiliated. So their name is Tron Walker, and they're playing literally Tron Planeswalkers. So like I feel like I should have caught on to that. So I probably play Faceless Haven and Into the North to get a Rimewood Falls. Draw Ascendant Spirit, okay. In that case, let's Into the North. Still getting Rimewood Falls, play Snow Island, play Ascendant Spirit. Pass the turn. Hopefully we draw a Void Mirror or a Negate soonish. Because opponent is going to start playing things soon. Let's draw a card with ice-fang code, we'll see what we get. Come on, Void Mirror. Hey! That's a pleasant surprise. Always nice when things work out exactly how you want them to. Alright, let's attack for 2. Void Mirror is not a hard lock against Tron, but it should at least stop them from doing things for a while. While they deal with it. I'm pretty sure Tron always sides in some amount of artifact destruction. Let's play Scrying Sheets. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Level up Ascendant Spirit twice. Go attacking for 6. Opponent passes. Attack for 10, okay. Alright, cool. That worked out great. I mean, I think I just run it back how I had it. Hopefully we can draw a Void Mirror exactly when I need to again. That was very nice. I wonder if it's right to bring in Spell Pierces. They don't do much after, like, turn 4 and beyond, but turn 3 it's really good. Unless they play KGC instead of something that costs 6 or 7 mana. If they do that, you're in a much worse spot, I guess. Yeah, hopefully I can just run it back and do pretty much the same thing. We'll see what happens, though. I assume they're going to have more Nature's Claim effects now. But if we get Void Mirror down at the right time, they might still have trouble even making green mana. Well, that doesn't have any lands, so we have to mulligan that. Mulligan. Alright, well. We got the lands we wanted, I guess. I guess I just get rid of a snow-covered forest, since I want all the spells. Maybe we can do like a weird Ascendant Spirit tempo thing. Is it worth Nature's claiming the Chromatic Sphere? Probably not. If they cast Sylvan Scrying off of it, I'll be sad, but if they just cash it in for like an Ancient Stirrings or an Oath of Nissa. Okay, they did cast Sylvan Scrying. Unfortunate. Well, we have Void Mirror now. Very interesting. I think I just play the Void Mirror. They have to be able to go Forest Nature's Claim to get rid of it right now, and then, okay, there's a Forest. Three. What they got? Chromatic Star, okay. So it looks like they're fishing for an answer to Void Mirror right now. The Forest means that they can cast one spell a turn, but that's what they're limited to for now at least. Play Snow-Covered Island. We drew another Void Mirror, that's interesting. I want to leave up Negate, so I'm going to wait on playing that for now. I might let them answer the first Void Mirror. And then just play it next turn with Negate back up still. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Karn Liberated. No thank you. Eventually we'll level up this Ascendant Spirit. Opponent Oath of Nissas. Opponent sees. So I think we Nature's Claim the Oath of Nissa since they have all these greedy-ass planeswalkers. Glacial Revelation. I'm gonna make sure that that does what I want it to. Spin mana as though we're a mana of any color to cast planeswalker spells. How does that work with Void Mirror? I think that Void Mirror would still counter things, but it's probably worth just Nature's Claiming that just in case, I would assume. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Play a Forest, and I think I want a Glacial Revelation now. Yeah, got a bunch of stuff with that. So that refills the hand. We still don't have much, if any, pressure on our opponent. They have a Karn Liberated they're going to be able to resolve next turn. But we have a bunch of cards in hand now, at least. I assume Karn's going to get Void Mirror. But we'll see. Opponent's got... I assume they're playing their Karn Liberated. They've only tapped 6 mana right now though, so maybe they have a Worm Coil engine. Yep, there's a Worm Coil. That is honestly less scary than Karn at least. So maybe they're going to try to Karn the Abominable Tree Folk. Let's play Boreal Druid. Let's... I want to leave up 2 mana for ice-fang Codal. And then we have 2 mana to level up Ascendant Spirit. I think that makes sense. Pass the turn. Alright, we need to be able to get aggressive again, we'll see if we can. Opponent goes to combat. They're going to gain a bunch of life, but we are going to break this Worm Coil Engine at least. If they attack in with it, that is. Like, Worm Coil Engine is still a ridiculous card, but... Well, apparently they don't attack, okay. But when they ice-fang, when they let you ice-fang Codal to deal with it, it's less scary, for sure. What does opponent have this turn? Karn the Great Creator. Okay. I can't activate my Void Mirror, that's very sad. What do they have to wish for? We know that they could get Sundering Titan, but they can't do it this turn. Opponent taps mana and wishes. Are they gonna forget about Void Mirror and let us counter something? Maybe? They don't have another forest yet. We know one card in their hand. Maybe they're gonna play Walking Ballista and let it get countered. They put Gigantha into their hand, okay. Let's play ice-fang Codal. Draw a card. Level up Ascendant Spirit. We can kill KGC with it next turn. Draw Boreal Druid. One, two, three, four. 1, 2. So I can play Boreal Druid. I can... Two, 3. Level up Ascendant Spirit, kill Karn with it. I'm trying to figure out when the right time to play this Tree Folk is. I would like to draw a Negate or something so that I can protect it from Karn Liberated for a turn, but I guess what happens, happens. Opponent's going to be able to get down either Gigantha or Walking Ballista or Karn Liberated next turn. We can play 2 more boys. I think I want to play... I definitely want to play Boreal Druid. And I think I want Ascendant Spirit, so I can try to make another flyer to pressure our opponent with. Hopefully we don't get Ugin, that would be incredibly sad. They're tapping a shit ton of mana. I assume for Walking Ballista. Yep, there's Walking Ballista, X is 6. Kills Ascendant Spirit. Kills Boreal Druid. Kills Boreal Druid. Kills Boreal Druid. Attacks for 6 with Worm Coil Engine. Alright. Draw Mouth of Ronom. Alright, we play it. We tap, 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 tap. Abominable Tree Folk. We'll get a mana out of our Boreal Druid. Lockdown Wormcoil Engine. Okay. Cast Frostaugur. Cast our second Void Mirror. Alright, we're empty-handed again. But we have a Mouth of Runom that we could activate if we need to, and we have a Faceless Haven we could activate if we need to. Abominable Tree Folk is almost for sure about to get yeeted by a Karn Liberated. But we'll see. Maybe we'll get lucky and our opponent will tap wrong and Void Mirror will counter it or something. But we'll see what happens with that. They can put more counters on Walking Ballista and kill our Frostaugur if they want to. Six. Second Wormcoil Engine, okay. Puts a counter on Walking Ballista. I assume they're going to kill Frostaugur, but we'll see. Gotta figure out if we can get a way out of these Wormcoil Engines. Trades Walking Ballista for Frostaugur, I'm okay with that. We drew ice-fang Codal. Let's pump our Ascendant Spirit. Attack. We get to draw a card. We draw Glacial Revelation. Okay. So we're going to break one of the Wormcoil Engines with ice-fang Codal. I'm not sure if I want to trade Tree Folk for a Wormcoil. We'll see. Doubling Season. Jesus Christ. Oh no. Then they can blow up both of our Void Mirrors with Blast Zone. Jesus God. Huh. Well, now I think I just take the 12 from the Wormcoil Engines and hope for the best. Opponent attacks for 6. You know what? I will not block. Maybe I can find a way to tap down the last Wormcoil Engine and figure out how to get 23 damage in. Flash and ice-fang Codal. We need to get a draw going. Maybe we can blow up Doubling Season if we get lucky. 6. So opponent's going to gain 6 if they block with Wormcoil. That puts them at 29. Let's Glacial Revelation, see what we get. Bunch of stuff. We did get another Abominable Tree Folk. That's great news. Play an island. Play Tree Folk. Lock down the untapped Wormcoil. We can get in for a ton of damage now. Tap you. Okay. Attack, attack. Opponent takes 16, we draw a card. Opponent can gain a bunch of life still with Wormcoil Engine, and we have to block if they attack with both of them. With an Abominable Tree Folk, that kind of sucks, but you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. We have another tree folk that might be able to help us a bit. Mouth of Ronom can get rid of one of the tokens, but they're going to get a bunch of Wormcoil Engine tokens, so that really sucks. Opponent Anciently Stirs. And they're out of... Oh, they can just Karn Liberated now. That's so sad. Yeah, they can just... I assume... I mean, I think they still have Karn Liberated in their hand, right? I thought I saw it go into their hand at some point. Maybe not. We'll see. If they have removal for our tree folk, they can just kill us, since we're at 8. And even if they don't have removal for the tree folk, if they attack with both of their worms, we're in a very precarious position. I think the only way we win is if they just pass the turn and don't do anything. Oh, they can't attack with this one since it's tapped down. Okay. I'm all over the place today. Opponent has a green and a generic. They can attack with this Wormcoil Engine, we'll just take it. I would rather risk them having more Walking Ballistas or some weird burn effect at this point. So it looks like they're digging for answers. Cascading Cataracts. Are they going to jank us out with a Planeswalker? I wouldn't be that upset about getting janked out by a Planeswalker at this point. Looks like they might have Samut. They have Nahiri. Nahiri can... Ultimate automatically, good lord, because of doubling season. Do they have, like, Emrakul? If they have Emrakul, we're super dead. What you got, opponent? I assume you have an Emrakul in there somewhere. If you're playing Nahiri also in your weird-ass multicolored Tron deck with a bunch of Planeswalkers that don't make it that much sense. What you got, what you got? Opponent's thinking about it for a while. That makes me think that maybe they don't have just the easy answer, Emrakul. But we'll see. Wish we had some first strikers in the snow deck. There just aren't any at all. First strike would help a lot with these Wormcoil Engines. Opponent is in the tank with what to get. This matchup's been hilarious, so I'm pretty satisfied no matter how it turns out. Honestly. But I would like to have our opponent decide sometime soon. Hopefully. Opponent gets an Ensnaring Bridge with haste. So they can't attack, and Ensnaring Bridge returns to their hand. So we win? Because we can tap down their Wormcoil Engine with... Okay. Abominable Snowman? For the win? All the way Snow, beating Tron? Beating weird Tron, but still beating Tron, I'll count it. Tapping it down. Go into combat. Leveling up for good measure. We got the GGs, awesome. I can't believe that they're not playing an Emrakul if they're playing Nahiri. Oh my god, I can't believe we beat a Nahiri Ultimate. What a crazy... A Nahiri Ultimate, 2 Worm Coil Engines, a Walking Ballista for what was it, 6? My god. Sweet. Alright, well, I'll see you in the next match. Alright, round 2. Our opponent's playing a Lurrus deck, and they're on the play. We have our mana fixing for a change, so that's nice. I think we'll keep this. If we get Thought Seized, we have a handful of things to play on turn 2, so that's nice at least. If we don't get Thought Seized, we probably just play out ice-fang Codal. Get a nice 2-for-1, maybe play Winter's Rest if they play a Ragavan or something. If they play Ragavan, I think I lean Winter's Rest. If they play DRC or something else, I think I lean ice-fang Codal, since it's better to actually get Dragon Rage Channeler off the board. Polluted Delta. Let's go ahead and hit Yield. Steam Vents. So probably just like the Grixis Lurrus Shadow situation. Okay, there's a Ragavan. We draw Ascendant Spirit. Let's play Rimewood Falls past the turn. See what our opponent wants to do. Attacks with Ragavan. Hopefully they don't get something useful off the top of our deck, although... So they could play Boreal Druid. That's not the worst. That's the nice thing about playing a deck that's so focused in on its own synergies than so much more than normal than compared to like regular decks. Since we're not playing Thought Seizes and stuff like that, usually that's a bad thing, but we are much better against Ragavan because not a lot of our cards are actually worth our opponent doing anything with. Like they could get ice-fang Codal, that'd be pretty bad because they get a free draw out of it, but that's pretty much it. Opponent has 2 cards. So I think current plan is Winter's Rest, Ragavan, then untap and probably Codal to block DRC. Opponent's up to 3 cards in hand now. We draw Boreal Druid. Okay. We could also go Ascendant Spirit, Boreal Druid, but that's not as consistent, I don't think. I think I'd rather just get Ragavan out of the way for now. Good old Winter's Rest. See if our opponent has like a Spell Pierce or something for it. Cool, cool. Opponent doesn't do anything and untaps. Okay. DRC is not on yet, but I suspect that they'll be able to turn it on this turn, because usually they'll have Expressive Iteration or something. Inquisition of Kozilek. Okay, probably takes ice-fang Codal, I assume. Which might mean this turn we're going Scrying Sheets, Marit Lage, Slumber, Boreal Druid. But we'll see. Hopefully we can untap with Boreal Druid or draw an untapped land, so we can play Abominable Treefolk soonish. I'm curious if in this matchup we'll actually be able to activate Marit Lage's Slumber. Yep, they take our Snowfall Strix, which makes sense. It's just sort of the best card in our deck. In a vacuum, at least. Shoxin, Watery Grave, Death Shadow? Yep, Death Shadow. It's a 2/2 currently. Not the scariest, but I would like another Winter's Rest.
That'd be nice. Attacks for 1 with DRC. An opponent has 1 card in hand. We draw another Abominable Treefolk. Okay, let's play Scrying Sheets. Marit Lage's Slumber, so we can scry a little bit and try to get a basic land on top of our deck, ideally. So that way we can play Treefolk even if Boreal Druid dies, and if we untap with Boreal Druid, we can play Treefolk. I don't want to get rid of Glacial Revelation, but I have to. That's sad. Play Boreal Druid. We might be able to line up like Abominable Treefolk and also Ascendant Spirit. Marit Lage's Slumber. What do we got? Spirit of the Alder Guard. I think I gotta put that on the bottom too. We have a lot of 4-drops. We don't have a lot of lands right now. I was weirded out for a second by the amount of snow permanents on Marit Lage's Slumber, but then I remembered Winter's Rest is over here. So that's why it says 6 instead of 5. Opponent bolts our Boreal Druid, as I expected. DRC is a 3/3 now. If they draw fetch land, we're getting hit for a lot more with Death Shadow, but we're getting hit for at least 5 here. Expressive Iteration. Decent chance they get a land out of that. If we can draw an untapped land and go Treefolk, I think that's enough tempo that we might be able to actually win this. Because the Treefolks are very big, and Dragon Rage Channeler can't block. So if we just tap down Death Shadow twice in a row, we might be able to get there. Treefolk doesn't die to Bolt. And at this point it doesn't die to Unholy Heat either. At least once we draw land. Death Shadow, yikes, okay. That complicates things a little bit more. They're not attacking with that Death Shadow, that's odd. A little weird. We go to 14. Opponent's got no cards in hand currently. We draw Frost Augur. That is not what I wanted. We can only play one of these. That sucks. I guess we play Frost Augur, we scry. We're in a bad spot now that we didn't get to play Treefolk after we scryed a bunch. Rimewood Falls, that's too slow. If we chump block here, we might still be able to line up a situation where we draw an untapped land, Treefolk, and might be able to get somewhere with it, but our opponent has a lot of very live draws. So it's very possible that we're in a bad spot now. Opponent. Attacks. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Alright, chump block. Go to 7. Alright, come on, untapped land. Opponent puts Lurrus in their hand. We untap. Fingers crossed. Untapped land. Okay. Let's see if it's too slow. But we can hope, I guess. Conifer Worm doesn't do anything since we don't have enough mana, so we'll put that on the bottom. If we draw another... If we draw an untapped... If we draw a basic island, we can go Ascendant Spirit Treefolk this next turn. And that might be enough chump blocking that we can do something with it. Does opponent have a counterspell? Tapping a blue. It looks like they have Drown in the Lock based on that. Tap down a Death Shadow. Into the north on top. Gotta get rid of that. It's not gonna do anything for us this turn. 7 snow permanents. We're kind of close to activating Marit Lage, but we're also very close to dying, so. Dress down. Does that kill Abominable Tree Folk? I'm not sure how that rule works. Does it become a 0/0? Yeah, it does. Okay, well, we are super dead. Okay, so Dress Down owns Tree Folk, and it's also pretty good against a lot of our other creatures, so that's bad. But we get to bring in a lot of things. We get to bring in 2 relics, maybe Grafdigger's Cage. I'm going to think about that for a second. And probably negate. Yeah, let's bring in Grafdigger's Cage. There's a decent chance they're playing Croxo somewhere, and it also turns off Lurrus, so that's nice. Ditch. A Conifer Worm. I don't want to ditch all the Conifer Worms. I might leave one in since it evades Fatal Push very well. Ditch Spirit. Ditch Spirit. A lot of spirits in this deck. I like Frost Augur better than Ascendant Spirit in this matchup, I think. I don't really want to cut Marit Lage's Slumber. It seems like we actually have a decent chance of activating it. Maybe I don't bring in Grafdigger's Cage. Let's try it like that. 2 relics and 2 negates. I don't want to cut down on our threats too bad, since apparently Abominable Tree Folk gets nuked by Dress Down. Which is an interesting interaction. Sort of unfortunate. Yeah, I think we would have... Of course we don't know when they got the Dress Down, but I think we had a decent chance if we had drawn... If we hadn't stumbled on lands so bad. I think we might have been able to win that game. Marit Lage's Slumber, ice-fang, Codal, and a bunch of lands. Because this has scrying sheets, I think I keep it. I can get down something on turn 2. Even if they thought sees me, I'll at least have something to play. And then scrying sheets can draw almost every card in our deck, so it's a really good card against mid-rangey shit like this. Play Rimewood Falls, pass the turn. Let's see what our opponent does. Looks like Ragavan. Yep, Ragavan. Okay. We draw Frost Augur. Let's play Snow-Covered Forest. Pass the turn. I'm going to plan on codling away this Ragavan, hopefully. And also hopefully drawing a basic island. Would be nice. So I can go Marit Lage's Slumber and also Frost Augur. Let's see if they have removal for the Codal. At the very least we get a 2-for-1 here, since we get to draw a card out of it and then they have to cast something. They do have removal. We draw Boreal Druid. Okay. Not the worst. Opponent gets an abominable Tree Folk off the top of our deck. Okay. Let's see if they thought sees us. Doesn't look like it. DRC. Mishra's Bubble. They still could thought seize this, but they've only got 1 card left in their hand. 2 after they draw a card on our turn with Mishra's Bubble. So they have to have it as their last card. The Mishra's Bubble target us. Opponent. Passes the turn. Excellent. What do we draw? We draw Negate. Alright, let's get Marit Lage's Slumber down, see if they have a counterspell for it. Awesome. Into the north. I think I keep that on top. That gets us a blue source. Play Snow Forest. It also gets us a bit closer to activating Marit Lage. Put on top. Put on top still. So hilariously, because Dress Down is in their deck, Marit Lage is actually not just a game-winning threat, because they can Dress Down and then just Fatal Push the Marit Lage, which is incredibly unfortunate, but I suppose that's the world that we're living in. Maybe this negate will be able to keep Marit Lage alive, if I can even get it activated in the first place. At least right now, they don't have a very fast clock on us, at least. They have a DRC that they can get in with, and they can probably kill Boreal Druid. Yeah, they can. Opponent attacks for 5. They get her into the north, which is okay. Into the north would have been nice, but it's not a necessity. Where we can draw decent 4-drops now, and those would be good too. We untap. We draw. Conifer Worm. Okay. Let's play Scrying Sheets. I think I want to put that on the bottom and keep looking for a blue source. Play Frost Augur. Treefolk on top. We will keep that on top. And I want to keep that, so if Ragavan connects, I'm going to Scrying Sheets to put it in hand. Up to 6 with Marit Lage currently. Probably going down 1 with Frost Augur dying, I assume. Fatal Pushes Frost Augur. Okay. Do I play Treefolk or Conifer Worm first? We will see. Probably Treefolk. Opponent attacks us for 5. Yeah, I think we need Treefolk so that we can get some tempo for a turn. We are taking a decent amount of damage. Treefolk in hand. Opponent has 2 cards in hand currently. They get a Ragavan trigger. They get a treasure. What did they exile? They exile a Relic of Progenitus. They're probably going to cast that, I would assume, since it's a free card. Maybe not. Who knows? 5 on the Marit Lage count. 6 after we play a land. Opponent has a Dress Down. Okay. So they're not using that to kill Treefolk. Interesting. And I don't think they've put Lurrus in hand yet. No, they haven't. Play another DRC. Okay. We draw Mouth of Ronom. Okay, let's play Mouth of Ronom. Get a Marit Lage trigger. Another Treefolk on top. I'll keep it on top. Blue, green, colorless, colorless. Keep a DRC tapped down. Okay. Pass the turn. Our opponent can hit us for 3, maybe more if they can kill Tree Folk. We take 3. We're at 5. Very precarious now. Do I want to activate Mouth of Ronom? Or do I want to play Abominable Tree Folk? I can only do one or the other. Put that one on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can't activate Mouth of Ronom and hold up Negate. And I also can't... Opponent has 2 cards in hand currently. If I go to combat, they can take it. So I need to play the thing before combat. I have to hope that they don't have another dress down. And I have to... Abominable Tree Folk, tap down a DRC, plan on taking 3. If they have a removal spell, and I attack with a Tree Folk this turn, they can kill a Tree Folk, and then Ragavan to kill me. I'm dead to bolt either way. Alright, well I guess I... Okay, I'm gonna tap correctly for that, please. 1, 2, 3. Play Tree Folk. Gonna target a DRC. What do they got? Dress down again. Feels like they have a dress down again, if I had to guess. Tap you. Okay. Put you on the bottom. I don't even know if it matters at this point. Pass the turn. They didn't have dress down that turn. Now if they play dress down, they're hitting us for less. They have to dig. I think they tapped 2 because they have Drown in the Lock still, and they still weren't able to counter Tree Folk with it, if I had to guess. Since we don't have fetches, sometimes being a budget deck works out well, I guess. Opponent scryed to the top. That seems dangerous for us. What's our opponent got? Polluted Delta. Okay. Wonder if that's what they scryed to the top. Who knows? Alright, opponent's got 3 cards in hand. They're hitting us for 3. We'll see if they have a bolt or something. If they have burn, we're dead. But if not, they're dead. Probably, I hope. They could also fatal push one of these and then I'd want to cry, but... Okay, they let us untap with our negate mana. So I feel a bit more confident now. Did we get it? Opponent's casting something. Opponent is fetching with Polluted Delta. If they're letting me negate the thing that they could have played on their turn, I'm super down for that. So they would have to have 2 fatal pushes at this point now. Because they only have 2 mana and they have to get rid of... Huh. I mean, I guess I put that on top like this is the last turn one way or the other. Treefolk has Trample, man. Jumping with Ragavan's not going to do it. Are we going to get a game? Opponent terminates a Treefolk. But we've got something for that. No forces, please. Resolves. Yay! Alright, so we got that game. And we had enough snow permanents to activate Marit Lage, so I will consider that a small victory. I still want to actually kill someone with the Marit Lage, but we'll have to take it as it comes, I suppose. Is it worth bringing in Spell Pierce? Negate was definitely worth it. I'm not sure about Spell Pierce. I don't know what I would take out for it necessarily. Maybe I just cut the Conifer Worm since it's slow. It's kind of hard to get that much mana. So I could cut Conifer Worm. I don't want to cut any of the Winter's Rests. I don't want to cut Marit Lage's Slumber because I really want to win with that. We didn't get to a point where we could play Conifer Worm. But the Trample could be really good against, like, Death Shadows and stuff. Do I just cut the Ascendant Spirits? Spell Pierces, maybe? Let's add a Spell Pierce. Maybe I just play the one lonely Spell Pierce, just in case. Yeah, I'll do that. Why not? This has a bunch of islands and a bunch of nothing else. Let's mulligan. This hand has fixing, some negates, and Ascendant Spirit, so I think we keep it. Keep, what do I want to get rid of? Maybe one of the negates. I don't really want to be that counterspell heavy this early. Yeah, I think that's fine. Let's see what our opponent does. Current plan is turn 1 Rimewood Falls, turn 2 Into the North. I might pivot that if they play Ragavan or something that I want to at least try to block. Play DRC. Okay, they played DRC, Mishra's Bauble, Scalding Tarn. It's unlikely we're going to be able to block that anyway, even if we did play Ascendant Spirit, so I think I just play Rimewood Falls. They did not meld themselves with the DRC. ice-fang Codal. Yeah, I definitely play Rimewood Falls now. So, next turn is probably either ice-fang Codal or Into the North. We'll see which one. Probably Inquisitioning our ice-fang Codal away here. So we Into the North. Do I get mana fixing or do I get scrying sheets? It'll be a little bit before I start using scrying sheets, but I'd like to make sure that I get one. I guess we'll see. I'm not sure if I want to get another Rimewood Falls or not, because mana fixing is also going to be really important. I like having the spread of Mouth of Ronom, Scrying Sheets, Faceless Haven. I'm not sure that's necessarily correct. Maybe there are some different amounts of the Snowlands that we should be playing. I think Singleton, Scrying Sheets, and Singleton, Mouth of Ronom at least is correct. Faceless Haven I'm not completely sold on. It's decent sometimes, but I don't activate it that often. We drew Marit Lage's Slumber. Let's play Snow Island. Our opponent hit us for 1. I think I want to play Into the North, get Scrying Sheets, because then next turn I can play Ascendant Spirit and activate Scrying Sheets and presumably get the top deck. Yeah. Let's start getting some card advantage while we can. Into the North getting a land that basically says to tap draw a card seems very powerful. Okay, opponent plays Ragavan. That might change our plan here. We'll see what we draw. And we'll also see what they exile with Ragavan, I suppose. Opponent exiled a snow-covered forest, just in time for us to draw Boreal Druid. Lame. Let's play Faceless Haven. Play Ascendant Spirit. I think I just played Boreal Druid too. Yeah. Unfortunately can't do anything with this mana right now other than level up Ascendant Spirit, but at least Ascendant Spirit gives us something to dump our relatively useless colorless mana into on turns like this. Opponent fetches. I wonder if we're going to be able to get this Marit Lage's Slumber down or if it's going to get discarded. I would really like to kill someone with a Marit Lage's Slumber. That's on my to-do list for today. I would rather do that than necessarily perform well in the league. Because activating Marit Lage is cool. So opponent has a Ragavan and 2 unknowns in their hand. They have not put Lurrus into their hand yet. I'm going to go ahead and dismiss that, since we know they have Lurrus as a companion. And they also don't have Delirium quite yet, but if we block Ragavan, they will. Opponent. Attacks with DRC. Does not attack with DRC. The hesitation on the attack makes me think that they don't have Unholy Heat right now, because otherwise they would want to... Because if they had Unholy Heat, they'd be able to get Delirium, they would be able to kill Ascendant Spirit, either with DRC... Okay, so let's level up Ascendant Spirit in response to that. Since they're forcing it through anyway. Yep, they have Unholy Heat. Okay. I think they could have done that to where they got 3 damage still, without using a dress down. But I'm okay with it either way, because this dress down's going to go away on my turn, so I can use Boreal Druid for mana if I need to. Opponent's at 12. Maybe Faceless Haven's going to be able to pressure them a decent amount here. We draw Snow-Covered Forests. Let's play Marit Lage's Slumber. Come on, Marit Lage's Slumber activation, please happen. I feel like if it's going to happen, it's going to be in a match like this. I'm going to put you on the bottom. Play Snow Forest. Seven. Opponent has 2 cards in hand. Put you on the bottom again. I was trying to figure out if I want to count on blocking Ragavan, or if I want to just let them get through with Ragavan and get a land out of it. I think I'd rather keep them on less mana if I can, though, and increase my chances of drawing a bomb. Opponent has a Drown in the Lock for Boreal Druid. That's fine. It's unfortunate, but it's fine. It's not worth negating that, since it's just a 1/1. Although, actually that might mean that we can block and kill Ragavan. Yeah, let's stop that, actually. Make them use another removal spell on it, if they want to get in with Ragavan. Death Shadow, okay. Good old 1/1 Death Shadow. Would our opponent like to do anything else? They're attacking with Ragavan. Whoops. Let's block the Ragavan, get it out of the way. We don't have to worry about our scries getting interrupted with that dead, at least. So our opponent is Hellbent, but they have a DRC and a Dragon and a Death Shadow, and they could put Lurrus into their hand. We have 6 permanents for Marit Lage's Slumber currently. We draw Boreal Druid. Let's play Boreal Druid and scry before activating Scrying Sheets. Winter's Rest. 1, 2, 3. Put on top. Okay. Pass the turn. We can hold up Faceless Haven activation so our opponent can't attack with Death Shadow unless they draw removal. And then we can keep DRC tapped down. Opponent puts Lurrus in hand. Opponent. What you got? Goes to combat. Attacks for at least 3, we know that. Attacks with the Death Shadow too. Okay, I'm going to attempt to trade Death Shadow here. This way I don't... Okay. So it's possible I should have activated Faceless Haven to do that, but I didn't want to risk it. And this way we still get a 2-for-1 sort of, because we can activate Scrying Sheets, get a card for free, untap. Hopefully get Marit Lage's Slumber online soon. Opponent has a Dress Down that they can get. We can Winter's Rest, you. We get to scry and then activate Scrying Sheets. Glacial Revelation on top. I mean, I'm not going to say no to a Glacial Revelation. We don't get to draw a card this turn because of that, but... like, my god. If we can actually resolve that, that's great news. So opponent is going to be able to get Lurrus. They will be able to Dress Down repeatedly. And that sucks pretty bad. Hopefully we get removal for the Lurrus, like specifically Mouth of Ronom. Opponent gets Ragavan. Okay. We untap. Alright, let's see what Glacial Revelation shows us. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to be playing Winter's Rest this turn, so I might as well. Tap like this. Come on, bunch of cards. That is not as many cards as I would want. Okay, we can play Rimewood Falls. We can Winter's Rest Lurrus, and then they can't get lifelink with it at least. 8 snow permanents. We will put that on the bottom. Winter's Rest your Lurrus. So unfortunately, Abominable Treefolk gets hard countered by this Lurrus Dress Down combo that they have. Might as well let them get that with Ragavan. Treefolk doesn't really do anything at this point, so it's fine. Okay. So they're gonna have to be able to remove Slumber in a way that makes sense. Okay, so Croaks is bad news. I think I have to discard Treefolk. Yeah, I think I have to discard Treefolk to conserve life total, since we don't have a way to stop Lurrus from killing it automatically with Dress Down. And we know that he knows about that, unfortunately. Opponent can Croxa again, so I didn't even have to think that hard about it. I wasn't sure if they're going to want a Death Shadow or Croxa though, but oh well. We go to 7, we take 2 from Ragavan, they get a treasure, our top deck isn't useful to them. So opponent can hit us for 3 with Croxa each of these turns. So that's bad news. How do I live here? Opponent gets DRC. I think I'm just dead because of how low my life total is now. Oh, the irony of drawing another Marit Lage's Slumber. Very sad. Let's Scrying Sheet, see if we get anything good. We do not. Alright, well, our opponent's got it. We did not get all the way to a Marit Lage. GG's to our opponent. That was a lot of fun. And I will see you in the next match. Alright, round 3 of Budget Snow in Modern. We're on the draw. This hand doesn't have a ton of action, but it does have both of our colors of mana, and that seems like the thing that kills us most of the time. It also has Marit Lage's Slumber. Screw it, let's keep it, see what happens. See what our opponent's doing. Opponent plays Mishra's Bauble. They're not playing a Lurrus deck. Spire Bluff Canal, okay. Makes me think they're playing the Murktide deck. We'll see. So let's lead on Boreal Druid. Next turn we can play Marit Lage's Slumber if we don't draw anything else. Opponent plays and draws with another Mishra's Bauble. Okay. Plays Polluted Delta, decides to get rid of whatever they saw. Passes the turn again. Okay. We draw Rimewood Falls. Let's play Snow-Covered Island since they already know about it. Attack for 1. Do I just run out Marit Lage's Slumber? I guess I might as well. It'll at least get a counterspell out of their hand. And if not, we can start scrying. Yep, counterspell, that's fine. Opponent plays Ragavan. What does opponent get off the top of our deck? Glacial Revelation. That kind of sucks. Wish we drew that. Opponent fetches, gets an island. Looks like a Murktide. Yep, that's a Murktide. Okay. What do we draw? Another forest. Alright, let's play Faceless Haven, pass the turn. No reason to attack our 1/1 into the Murktide. If opponent dashes Ragavan but doesn't play another red source, we can block and kill it with Faceless Haven, and they might not notice that. Opponent plays Consider. Lots and lots of lands is what our hand has been this game. After the amount of practice games and stuff where the main issue of this deck has been not having both colors of mana in the opener, I'm really hesitant to mulligan anything that has that automatically. Alright, they're not attacking with Ragavan, they hit us with Murktide Regent. We take our beats. Opponent has 3 cards in hand, hopefully we can draw some action eventually. We draw Glacial Revelation. They could have Spell Pierce, so let's play Snow-Covered Island, Glacial Revelation. Maybe I should have tapped Boreal Druid. Spell Pierce. I would like to Glacial Revelation, please. Alright, we got a bunch of cards. A bunch of lands that we're going to discard, and 3 spells. But we did get a 6 for 1 with that Glacial Revelation. Technically a 7 for 1, I guess, with getting a Spell Pierce out of our opponent's hand too. But unfortunately there weren't that many spells in the top 6. Alright, discard, discard, discard. So we can Winter's Rest the Murktide. Our opponent has a second Murktide, of course they do. We're going to take 7 to this one and 2 from Ragavan. Do we have a chance? We need another Winter's Rest, I think. Opponent got a Snow-Covered Island off the top of our deck. They have 1 card in hand and they have a Fiery Islet they can use to draw a card. We draw Into the North. Okay, let's lead on Frost Augur. Land for turn. Winter's Rest, your larger Murktide. Please resolve. If it doesn't resolve, we're just dead. Actually, we're dead no matter what, because Murktide hits us for 6, now that I think about it. Well... that's unfortunate. I'll let our opponent actually kill us. But yeah, only one removal spell. Not the scenario that we needed exactly. What do we want to bring in? I probably bring in relics because I'm pretty sure they're going to be playing DRCs and either negates or spell pierces or both. We'll see. I only cast spells that our opponent already knew about because of Glacial Revelation, so... at least that's not a big deal. We didn't give them any hidden information. Let's just concede to conserve time. Yup, yup. Okay. Relic, take out Conifer Worm, since they're very slow. Take out... Should I cut on Ascendant Spirits? And also, should I play Negates or Spell Pierces? I'm leaning towards just Negates. I like Winter's Rest, I like Into the North, I like Codal. Boreal Druid stays. Frostaugur I think stays. I think I cut 2 Spirit of the Outerworlds, maybe? Maybe not. So the reason I think I want to keep Spirit is because, or Spirit of the Outerworld specifically, is because it's an X4. So that's pretty hard for, it's at least relatively hard for them to kill. But the argument for Ascendant Spirit is it can gain flying, and it's one of the only cards in our deck that can do that. Yeah, I think I want the flyer more. Let's do it like that. Abominable Treefolk is still a pretty large creature for them to have to deal with. Let's see. No colored mana, we have to mulligan. Hey. Alright, we'll keep this. I don't want to mulligan any further. Get rid of one of the islands. So we can go turn 1 land, turn 2 Marit Lage's Slumber or Winter's Rest, and then figure it out from there. Hopefully. Island pass. If they play a Ragavan, I think we Winter's Rest. If they don't do anything, I think we... okay, they played DRC. That's not really worth Winter's Resting because they keep surveilling anyway. So I think I just want to get Marit Lage's Slumber down. Yeah, I want to go ahead and get this to resolve. We can worry about Into the North later. Because now I can start scrying. And in theory, there's a... do I want Negate? I think I do. That should help us get through a counterspell later, at least. Opponent plays Consider in their main phase. Okay. Possibly looking for a second land drop. Maybe we can cross our fingers and they'll be stuck on 1 land for a couple turns. Scry to the top. Doubt it. There's a land. Serum Visions. All the dig. But at least right now doesn't look like DRC is going to be a 3-3 this turn. Might be. They could still... They got an instant and a sorcery in the graveyard currently. They could still play Mishra's Bauble and then mill maybe like a land with it. So it's possible still. Opponent attacks for 1, cool. We go to 19, we draw negate, we play snow-covered forest. There's a land on top, it doesn't matter, we're gonna Into the North anyway, and we're gonna get Scrying Sheets with Into the North. So we can start getting some card advantage. Scry, Boreal Druid. Put you on the bottom, it's a bit late for you. Past the turn, we have 5 snow permanents for Marit Lage's Slumber. 6, 7 if we count the 2 in hand. We have a Winter's Rest so we can deal with a Murktide Regent. We have a Negate to get through a counterspell. And we have Scrying Sheets to start getting card advantage. Scrying Sheets plus Marit Lage's Slumber is quite the combo. I like all the Scry 1 effects with Scrying Sheets since you can make sure that you're going to draw a card. Opponent plays Ragavan. Is it worth getting rid of Ragavan? Opponent hits us for 1 again. That's fine. If opponent had a Murktide, I think they would have played it this turn. Since they were able to. We drew Ascendant Spirit, okay. So we actually don't even need to worry about that necessarily. We can just play Ascendant Spirit and then block Ragavan with that. Ooh, ice-fang Codal. That also works well. Let's put you on top. Let's... Do I Ascendant Spirit or do I Codal this turn? I'm leaning Codal, since I get it for free with Scrying Sheets and then I get another card draw on top of that, even if they remove it. Which there's a decent chance they can. They ditched an Unholy Heat, it makes me think that they have one, but since we haven't been playing many creatures, it makes me think they might not want it. Opponent attacks for 3. We Scrying Sheets. Reveal our boy. ice-fang Codal, see if it resolves. It does. I should have done that in the other order, but whatever. Unholy Heats are Codal, that's fine. Still a 2 for 1. We get Snow Forest. We put. I should have put that on top so Ragavan got it. Whatever. Got a Mouth of Ronom. That's kind of annoying. I wanted that to be in the deck so I could tutor for it. Oh well. Still have a chance to get Marit Lage's Slumber online this game, which is really just what I want. Okay, opponent plays Murktide. We are Winter's Resting the ever-loving shit out of that. Let's play Snow-Covered Forest. Scry. Scry. Top. Winter's Rest, you. Okay. Scry, still to the top. And I think I want to go ahead and play Ascendant Spirit and... Definitely keeping that on top. I'm curious if I want to roll it up immediately instead of scrying sheets. Yeah, I think I want to roll it up now so they can't unholy heat it for 2 and kill it. Just in case. I was probably going to roll up Ascendant Spirit this turn anyway, so I could try to block Ragavan. But it all just depends on if they were going to bolt it or not. Opponent has a bolt for it, yep. Opponent's going to get a land with Ragavan and hit us for 5 down to 10. We can play Ascendant Spirit. Hopefully we draw a snow permanent, because if we draw like a snow land and play Ascendant Spirit and hold up Negate, we should be able to get Marit Lage to come out. And that would be cool. Christmas Marit Lage, please. What's our opponent got? Hopefully not another Murktide, but it looks like it. Yep, another Murktide. Annoying. Yep. It's a 5/5. DRC is not online anymore, at least. Ooh, we draw Winter's Rest. Yes, please. Let's see if we can get a snow land on top. Not a snow land, but still probably worth keeping, so let's do it. Play Ascendant Spirit, that gets us to 10 snow permanents. We will go ahead and roll it up. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have a removal spell and we can activate Marit Lage's Slumber. We will keep Glacial Revelation on top still, because even if they steal it with Ragavan, it doesn't do anything. And they have another Lightning Bolt. God damn it. That's infuriating. Okay, so we're getting hit for at least 3 again. Hopefully that's all, and we just go down to 7. I really want this Marit Lage's Slumber to flip. Opponent steals our Glacial Revelation. Yep. So we get a card draw and we get a Scrying Sheets activation to try to get a 10th snow permanent. Opponent has 1 card in hand. I wonder if they just play Glacial Revelation to get a DRC trigger. Okay, opponent has no cards in hand. Beautiful. Maybe we can get a big Queecha. We get Ascendant Spirit. Okay. Play Ascendant Spirit. This time we have Negate back up, so for the love of God. It's gotta stick now, right? We'll put you on top, I guess. Roll you up. Leave Negate up. Opponent has to draw another bolt and also a way to get around our Negate somehow. We are at least going to get a Marit Lage token. It looks like. Opponent plays Expressive Iteration. I think I'm going to counter the Expressive Iteration to make sure they don't find like 2 removal spells for Ascendant Spirit or something, because that would be some bullshit. Let's see what they mill with DRC. Hopefully it doesn't give them Delirium. They did not mill. We're going to negate you. We get a Marit Lage. Let's see if our opponent lets us hit them with it. We still have to close out the game, but we at least are going to generate the token, it looks like. Opponent passes, no attacks. Makes sense. We get a big ol' boy. Yeah! Awesome. Alright. Let's Play Frost Augur. Activate Scrying Sheets. Get a land. I'm a genius. Activate Ascendant Spirit. Attack for 4. We got the big old boy. What's our opponent got? Lightning bolts our face. Okay. They don't have Delirium, so they just die to Marit Lage? Yay! Alright. We got a Marit Lage win. And against a real deck, no less. Do I bring in the Spell Pierces? I kind of do want the Spell Pierces after that game, but I don't know what I would want to take out. I don't think they've seen Abominable Treefolk. Maybe one got, like, exiled in game 1, but that's it. Ascendant Spirit was definitely good. Winter's Rest was great. Negate was great. Marit Lage's Slumber, it worked. Which I guess is what I'm judging greatness off of now. I think I just run it back. If we get a Relic online fairly early, it should delay the clock of our opponent getting their dragons down and getting Dragon Rage Channeler turned online, at least. Alright, well, we got colored mana. We will keep. I think I play turn 1 tapped land, turn 2 Boreal Druid Ascendant Spirit. Opponent's playing Serum Visions on 1 instead of leading on a creature. That's good. Scryed 1 top, 1 bottom. Okay. If we draw a forest, I think I just play Boreal Druid on 1. So that I can... Okay, we drew Glacial Revelation. Let's just play Rimewood Falls Pass. So next turn is Boreal Druid, Ascendant Spirit. Turn after that, we could either play another Boreal Druid, roll up Ascendant Spirit, or Glacial Revelation, or if we draw an untapped land, play Abominable Treefolk. Ooh, we drew Codal. Okay. Let's Boreal Druid. Ascendant Spirit. I feel like our opponent's going to have a decent amount of removal. We'll see what happens. If they just spend their turn spot removing our like shitty 1/1s. I mean, that's fine by me. No spells to cast at the end of our turn. That's good. Our opponent looks like Expressive Iteration, maybe? Yep. It is so satisfying to call what card your opponent is playing or figure out what deck they're playing before you know for sure. It's a fun game to play. So we're untapping with at least one of these. If I don't draw a land, I think I Glacial Revelation. Since we have 2 of them anyway, it's okay that we discard some cards. Okay, Boreal Druid. It gets yeeted. Opponent bolted it. They have Serum Vision, Scalding Tarn, Expressive Iteration, and Lightning Bolt. So they have 3 card types currently. Do I ice-fang Codal and hope for a land, or do I play Boreal Druid? They have 6 cards in hand. I think I want to go Ascendant Spirit, Boreal Druid. Casting a bit more spells is fine because this way whenever we Glacial Revelation, if it resolves, we're less likely to be discarding a bunch of cards down to hand size. Which is the one downside to this. It refuels your hand really well, but sometimes you don't... Ah, god damn it. Engineered Explosives is annoying. Okay, we drew Snow-Covered Island. Let's Revelation, see if we can refuel. They might Spell Pierce it, we'll see. They let it happen. And we get the full Monty, too. Alright, what do we want? God damn, we just drew a bunch of cards. What do I want to ditch? So I'm definitely keeping this Glacial Revelation. I'm definitely keeping Winter's Rest, Abominable Treefolk, ice-fang Codal. I definitely want to keep Marit Lage's Slumber because it'd be funny if we got to Marit Lage an opponent twice in a row. Definitely keeping Faceless Haven, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I think I keep Rimewood Falls. And just ditch these two. That seems fine. Get rid of a couple of dorks. See what our opponent wants to do. Damn, we just drew a bunch of cards with that. Jace the Mind Sculptor. That's annoying. Our opponent is also about to be able to draw a bunch of cards. Opponent brainstorms. I wonder if they are going to force our Marit Lage. So if I Into the North, I can't play ice-fang Codal this turn. Let's play Faceless Haven. Cast Marit Lage's Slumber, see if they want to force it, since they can't Spell Pierce it this turn at least. Mystic Dispute, that's okay. No. Cast Into the North. I want to get Abominable Treefolk down while it has 7 or higher toughness. So let's get Scrying Sheets. Get some card advantage with that. Pass the turn. I don't want them to be able to just Unholy Heat the Treefolk away. I want them to at least be able to, at least have to spend 2 cards on it, or use Jace to bounce it. So we'll see. But we have a lot of action still. And we have Faceless Haven too. So if they tap out, we can pressure Jace. 1, 2, 3. If we have an untapped land, we can have 2 mana open in Faceless Haven. Okay. There's a Murktide. We definitely want to Winter's Rest that. So, Winter's Rest. I assume they've got to have a counterspell. Wish we had another untapped land. Alright, we're Winter's Resting your thing. I assume you're countering this. You're not. Okay. Play Rimewood Falls. Pass the turn, I guess. Opponent's not plussing Jace. They are getting card advantage with it, but they're not pressuring us at least. We might be able to actually keep up with this card advantage because of the Scrying Sheets and all these things. Let's pass the turn. Opponent brainstorms. Has 6 cards in hand. I think I Codal instead of Scrying Sheets at end of turn. So I can attack Jace and probably get a removal spell out of their hand. Either that or at least eat a counterspell. They didn't counter Winter's Rest, which is interesting. It makes me think that they didn't have a counterspell. But it has another Murktide. And they're tapping out for it. Okay. Five cards in hand, tapped out for Murktide. Let's flash in Codal, see what we draw. I think I'm gonna Abominable Treefolk this one down. Okay. We drew a forest. Draw for turn. Draw Rimewood Falls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can Treefolk and also Glacial Revelation, or we could Treefolk and also Ascendant Spirit. Either way, that's not a terrible deal. I think I'm leaning towards Glacial Revelation, though. So either way, I'm playing Snow-Covered Forest. I am. Unfortunately, I can't Treefolk and activate Faceless Haven to kill Jace right now. So they could have Force of Negation for Glacial Revelation. So I guess I should lead with Glacial Revelation. It resolves. Shit ton of lands, one more Winter's Rest. I could Winter's Rest the Murktide Regent, but I think I'd rather just Treefolk at this point, actually. And if they bounce Treefolk with Jace, we cast it again, it has an ETB trigger, we lock down Murktide for another turn. Or we at least get a counter out of their hand. Doesn't seem bad. Attack Jace for 1. We might be able to line up a scenario where we kill our opponent next turn. We have 11 damage on board currently. Plus 4 from Faceless Haven. They've got to have removal spells though. Like, surely. So I assume Faceless Haven would get bolted, at least. And then they probably have appropriate removal for ice-fang. They would have to spend a lot of removal on Abominable Treefolk at this point, so they would have to use something else on it. Yep, bounces it with Jace. Bolts our ice-fang, that's fine. What's our opponent got? It looks like they have another Murktide and they just couldn't tap for it because they're 1 mana short. Let's see if that's true. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do I lead with Treefolk or Faceless Haven? Snow-Covered Forest. Abominable Treefolk. Looks like they have a counterspell for it. Lets it resolve, tap that down. So if they want to bounce it with Jace, it'll cost another activation. So I can either go Ascendant Spirit Scrying Sheets, or I could try to kill Jace with Faceless Haven. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. Or I could Ascendant Spirit. I feel like I want to Ascendant Spirit more. Well, this forces them to have Bolt now out of the 5 cards in their hand. Yeah, let's Faceless Haven and pressure. Fingers crossed. If they bolted, it's not the end of the world. We do go down a land, and Abominable Treefolk loses a power and toughness, which kind of sucks, but... if we stop them from brainstorming again, that's great. Is it going through? Alright, Jace down. Excellent. So we have a 10-10 and a 4-3. And our opponent seems to not have Lightning Bolt. They've got 6 cards in their hand. Unless they're very flooded right now, they've got to have a decent amount of action. Engineered Explosives on 2. That can blow up Winter's Rest. But they still need removal for Treefolk or Faceless Haven, otherwise they're going to die here. Because I can just play a land. Opponent plays another land. They have 4 cards in hand. We draw ice-fang Codal. Alright, Snow-Covered Island. Ascendant Spirit. They Mystic Dispute, Ascendant Spirit. I think I want to pay for that so I can keep the Treefolk count up. So 1, 2, 3. That gets us to where they can go down to 1 now. I'm not going to pay for Ascendant Spirit. I'm going to animate Faceless Haven. So our opponent needs a Bolt exactly. Because we're attacking for lethal, they can blow up Engineered Explosives, that gets us down 1. But we can flash in ice-fang Codal, so they need another removal spell, or another counter spell. To not just die here. EE resolves, Treefolk gets shrunk, cast Codal. Lethal? Yay! Alright. 2-1 with Snow against real decks. And we even got a we even got a 20-20 in one of those. Alright, sweet sweet, see you in the next one. Alright, round 4 of Budget Snow in Modern. We're on the draw, our opponent mulligan to 6. We have the best card in our deck. 4 lands, mana fixing. Seems fine. We will keep. We need a finisher, but we have a little bit of ramp. We have a 2-for-1 and we have some removal and a man land, so not the worst hand I've seen with this, by far. Tide Shaper. Okay, we're playing against Merfolk. Let's go. Our opponent's having connection issues. That's unfortunate. Boreal Druid passed the turn. So we do just play islands. That's pretty unfortunate against Merfolk. And all of our blue sources have the island type. Yikes. We don't really have much in the way of sideboard against this either, since most of our sideboard is for unfair decks. Huh. I think you're about to watch me just lose to Merfolk. We'll see. Like, we have Weather the Storms that we can bring in against aggro decks, but they're basically just for burn decks. Merfolk can just deal a bunch of damage again. So I don't think there's that much of a point. Like, Void Mirror doesn't do anything against them. Relic doesn't do anything against them. Grafdigger's Cage, like, maybe they're playing a Collected Company version for some reason, but it probably doesn't do anything against them. Guy's Blessing doesn't do anything. Wilton Nature's Claim could blow up Ether Vial, but that's pretty much it. Opponent's still having connection issues, it looks like. Hopefully they can get back in the game. And then Negates and Spell Pierces do, like, absolutely nothing. So this is a matchup where we wish that we had Mystic Disputes instead of Spell Pierces, but that's pretty much all we can complain about. We're playing Simic, so we just kind of lose to efficient creature decks most of the time, I think. Opponent plays a Silvergill Adept. Yes, I will block. I will block and trade as many times as I'm offered. I do not care about that Boreal Druid nearly as much as getting more Merfolk off the board. Let's play Snow-Covered Island, pass the turn. Hopefully our opponent doesn't get Island Walk soon, but we can at least play Codal and Cantrip with it. Silvergill, okay. That's not Island Walk. Opponent has 5 cards in hand. We draw Mouth of Ronom. That is one of our few pieces of actual removal. And we will block and kill a 2/1. We draw Boreal Druid. Opponent plays Rishadan Dockhand for some reason. And that has Island Walk by itself, actually. Let's play Faceless Haven. Play Boreal Druid. And I think I Winter's Rest the Dockhand so that they can't mess with our mana or our Faceless Haven attacks. And also because it has Island Walk by itself, it's kind of scary. If they play a Lord, I think I just Mouth of Ronom it on our turn. And that means we would need the mana from Rishadan Dockhand anyway, so that works out. Alright, opponent's still having connection issues, it looks like. I hope they're not my connection issues. I'm always kind of... like, Moto seems to be running fine for a change for me, so I don't think it is. But I used to have a lot of issues with that on my laptop, because my laptop was a piece of shit. And I'd be trying to play, like, prison decks and then run out of time every single game that I played because it would be buggy for a couple minutes and then I just wouldn't have enough clock to win. I think opponent's disconnected again, but it hasn't said. Sometimes it takes a minute before it actually pops up. But they've been thinking about letting me resolve this Boreal Druid for like a minute, and they don't have any mana untapped. So, who can say? Against the Merfolk deck, this is definitely a situation where I wish I had the black splash and snow so I could be playing Dead of Winter. I might do a Sultai Snow deck at some point, because it has been really fun playing this. I think realistically, for the deck to be more competitively viable, it might need like Thought Seizes or something like that, and some amount of fetch lands. But who knows, maybe we'll get more snow support eventually, and then it'll be fine. Good lord, this is taking forever. So how would you do a version of the snow deck? I'm doing Simic Snow now, obviously, but I also did the mono red Scred list. I know that there's a Sultai Snow list. It doesn't see competitive play, but it exists because ice-fang is really good and Dead of Winter is really good. So it just kind of makes sense that you play them together. Alright, Boreal Druid finally resolves. We cast Winter's Rest. We see how long that's going to take to resolve. Alright, it resolved, thank God. Pass the turn. What's our opponent got? Another Silvergill has a Master of the Pearl Trident in their hand. So they do have a Lord. They haven't played a land into the Lord yet. Now they did. Okay. We get hit for 3. We untap, we play Mouth of Ronom. Maybe I shouldn't have ran that out. Oh well. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. We can't activate Mouth of Ronom yet. But we could get in with Faceless Haven, or leave it up to block with, in case they only have the one Lord. So we could get them down to 15, or we could prevent 2 damage from Master of the Pearl Trident in exchange for risking a bunch. I think we have to play defensively here, unfortunately, since we don't have any finishers. We just have a bunch of lands in our hand. If they forget about it and attack in with the Lord, that's probably the most likely chance for us to actually win from this board state. So I think I have to I think I have to bet on my opponent misplaying instead of us trying to play correctly. We can get hit for at least 9 here. Glasspool Mimic, shit. Yeah, so there's the second Master of the Pearl Trident. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yup. Didn't attack with the other Master for whatever reason. We take 8. We draw. Glacial Revelation. We could tap 3, Glacial Revelation. Even if we draw removal spell or blockers, it doesn't do anything, so we concede. Unfortunate. I don't think I realistically have anything to sideboard, so I think I just have to keep it the same and hope for the best. Which probably means that the second game's going to be over pretty quickly too. But hey, I can hope that they stumble or something. Ugh. Yeah, no removal in this matchup is kind of rough. How many times have I run into Merfolk now? I'm wondering if this is the 4th time in a row that I've run into Merfolk in a league I've recorded. I don't remember if I played against it in Scred, but I know I did with Lantern, and I know I did with Liquid Metal right before that. I think I'm 1-1 in matches with it right now. So I wouldn't call Merfolk the boogeyman. But maybe it's like the recurring rival character at this point. I think Jund is the boogeyman, if anything. I just can't... I can't simultaneously play a deck that's good against Jund and play well against Jund to save my life. I mean, I guess we keep it. We get to play Boreal Druid, and then either Glacial Revelation or Into the North the turn after that. Sort of leaning towards Glacial Revelation right now, because I think playing Tree Folk on turn 3, and then following that up with like threat before our opponent can do anything. I think Tree Folk is the most reasonable way that we could actually win this matchup. But even that's sort of a long shot. But we'll see. Opponent plays Island, plays Rishadan Dockhand. We play an Island. We play Glacial Revelation. Good stuff, please. They forced it. Okay. Well, I'm sad now. Because we don't have a threat. Shit. Opponent's gonna Rishadan Dockhand one of our lands. Wonder if they hit the green or... Yeah, they hit the green. Annoying. Okay, so we're not gonna be able to Into the North with that. But we can Into the North with this. Let's get Mouth of Ronom. So we might be able to blow up a Lord at some point. Pass the turn, no reason to attack into the 2/2. Tideshaper's like a really weird Kurt Ape. Opponent plays Silvergill, they have a Master of the Pearl Trident in their hand, they draw a card. As long as an opponent controls an island, yeah. I like Tideshaper's mechanic a lot, it's very interesting. Opponent plays Waterlog Grove, attacks for 2, yup. I assume they're gonna snipe Mouth of Ronom with Rishadan Dockhand. They don't. Okay. We draw Frost Augur. We will cast Frost Augur. Hopefully they don't have double Lord. I think we just die to double Lord. Might as well attack with this. They're gonna play a Lord and we won't be able to block with it anyway. So we might as well offer the trade for the Silvergill. No trade. Okie dokie. Well, we have 2 lands in our hand. We have a Mouth of Ronom and we have 2 fairly shitty creatures compared to what's on the board. Our opponent did not play a Lord. Odd. Let's block Silvergill. Opponent hits us for 3. Opponent plays Sylvoon. Okay. So that gives everything Ward. Let's play Snow-Covered Island. Pass the turn. Keep drawing lands. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't think we would be able to survive that long, but hilariously, if we drew Marit Lage, we might be able to actually activate it. We're getting pretty high in permanence, even though we only have lands and a Boreal Druid. Alright, I think I want to blow up Master of the Pearl Trident now. We get hit for a bunch. We can hope our opponent doesn't get Island Walk, but I doubt it. And we also have to hope that we get some amount of bombs. Opponent has 1 card in hand. What do we draw? Winter's Rest. Alright, Winter's Rest knocks down Sylvan for now at least. We're still getting hit for a bunch. I'm presumably chump blocking if they don't have a Lord. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If we draw Marit Lage's Slumber, we'd go Forest Marit Lage Slumber. And then we'd have 10 permanents. We'd still have to untap somehow, but I don't want to think that hard about it, if I'm being honest. Alright, let's conserve what life total we can. Block Tide Shaper. We don't have any way to gain life, so we're pretty much fucked at this point. If we draw Abominable Treefolk, we could, like, play Treefolk, tap down Rishadan Dockhand since it has Island Walk. Maybe just try to chain those together or something. We'll see. We draw Frost Augur. Well, I guess that can block. Might as well play the Forest. Pass the turn. We're pretty much dead. We're gonna be at... What are we gonna be at? We're gonna be at either 2 or 3 or dead. Opponent draws a card. Still doesn't have a Lord. Let's block Rishadan Dockhand, go down to 2. Oh, it has Island Walk, I'm a dumbass. Alright, block Tide Shaper. This game sucks. Go to 3. Treefolk? Marit Lage's Slumber. Well, I'll cast it. And we would have gotten away with it too, if it weren't for all these damn fish. Are they going to counter our Marit Lage's Slumber? I'm going to be sad if they counter our Marit Lage's Slumber. I'm so sad. I'm going to let them know that I'm so sad, and then I'm going to concede. Alright, 2-2 with Budget Snow. See you in the next one. Alright, round 5, or at least what will serve as our round 5 with Budget Snow. Round 5, I lost the footage, mostly because I forgot to actually hit record. We only have an island, we have a bunch of green, got a mulligan. But it wasn't much of a game to see. I lost pretty thoroughly to... Wow, still don't have green. I lost pretty thoroughly to actual Tron. We could get mana screwed pretty hard here, but I don't want to really... Yeah, we basically only have one spell we can cast. I got a mulligan again. Oh my god. Alright. Ditch you, ditch you. If we draw a forest, we can at least get a couple 2-for-1s. Yeah, we got very thoroughly Troned by an actual mono-green Tron deck that wasn't trying to do fun things like our round 1 was, so that was unfortunate. Oh my god. Oh no. Well, I guess you're just gonna get to see a reliving of it, huh? What do you think the chances are that our opponent is playing a doubling season Planeswalkers Tron deck? Because I think we can take them again. If we get lucky, at least. We only beat that Tron deck by just a few lucky draws. Oh. It looks like they're going to have turn 3 Tron. We draw another Codal. Alright, things are shaping up bad. But yeah, I didn't expect this deck to be good against actual Tron. It kind of sucks that we're queuing into it since it's about maybe like 2% of the meta or something like that right now, I think. But, if Tron's gonna get you, Tron's gonna get you. They don't have natural Tron, that's nice at least. They're gonna Oblivion Stone or Ascendant Spirit, apparently. We untap. Draw Rimewood Falls. Okay. Attack for 2. Make our guy a 2/3. Hit ya. Yeah, I was just looking at the length of like how long our games have run time-wise so far, and I'm surprised by how grindy this deck is. I guess I'm... Okay, Ugin is probably just gonna fucking kill us here. We can get Faceless Haven to try to pressure it. At least to stop it from ulting. Since Ugin can't deal with manlands very well. But our opponent just has Tron and a shit ton of mana now. Let's see what they get with KGC and then I assume just concede. Maybe we can get lucky with some Void Mirror plays like we did against Tron. Alright. Yeah, opponent can just turn off Faceless Haven now. Might as well concede. Because Ugin's gonna get to ult, we can't race Ugin ult with a bunch of ice-fang Codals. Alright. Negate, negate. Void Mirror. Wilt. Nature's Claim, cut 2 Conifer Worms, cut 2 Marit Lage Slumbers, cut... I think I cut 2 Frost Augurs last time. Cut a Winter's Rest. I think I cut 2 Winter's Rest against Planeswalker Tron. But I think it's a good enough way to deal with Warm Coil Engine that we want more of it. Oh my god, are we still doing this? Mulligan. Wow, we're really just getting shit on by our lands this match, huh? Alright, let's keep the one lander. Fuck it. Ditch a Glacial Revelation, play Rimewood Falls, pass the turn. We've got a Nature's Claim we could disrupt them with, we have an Ascendant Spirit we can cast, and we've got a Dream. If we draw land and can play ice-fang Codal, we might be able to start getting some good value. We can Nature's Claim Expedition Map, that's nice at least. We drew the land. Let's Nature's Claim you. Play Ascendant Spirit, pass the turn. Alright. Some good early disruption.
Opponent plays Chromatic Star. Opponent looks like they're going to Anciently Stir. Opponent Ancient Stirrings. They get Expedition Map. Hopefully they don't have turn 3 Tron. It looks like they might not currently. We draw land. I think it's most worth our while to Glacial Revelation this turn. Voidmere goes to the graveyard, Nature's Claim goes to the graveyard. That's sad, but we got a bunch of stuff out of it at least. Nothing particularly scary for our opponent, sadly. Just a bunch of 2-for-1s, but I'll have to be satisfied with it. Blast Zone, cracks Expedition Map, gets Tron for next turn. They are running a little slow because of that Nature's Claim we got. Hopefully we can capitalize on that pretty well. Let's attack with Ascendant Spirit. Let's make it a 2/3. Hold up 2 mana for ice-fang Kotal. Karn Liberated. Yikes. Whoops. Green-blue ice-fang Kotal. They down-ticked on our land instead of on Ascendant Spirit, which means we get to kill Karn at least, it looks like. Which may just mean they have another Karn, but we draw into the north. Do I into the north? It's not really worth leveling up Ascendant Spirit since they have Blast Zone to deal with it. Let's kill Karn. Cast into the north, and I'm gonna get Rimewood Falls here so they can't just play another Karn Liberated and downtick on a land, because them downticking on a land makes me think they have another Karn Liberated and they want to attack our mana base. And I'm gonna play Frost Augur because I don't really mind losing it to Blast Zone. And in fact, I think I'd rather them like take a turn off and sacrifice a land to deal with 3 power worth of things than play something actually scary. So maybe that can incentivize them into dirtling around for a turn. Ancient Stirrings, see what they get. Kozilek. That's not fair. There's another Karn. So it looks like my hunch was right about that plan. Okay. Yep. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe they'll forget that they have a Kozilek that they can attack with. Or cast, rather. I guess Kozilek... How do we deal with Annihilator 4? Huh. We'll see, I guess. We have a couple ice-fang Kotals. Maybe we can get something to happen. We can ditch... Let's ditch Boreal Druid. If we draw Winter's Rest, we might be able to deal with their Kozilek. So although things look very grim, and they are very grim, I'm gonna try to keep a good attitude about it. Ice-fang Kotal, see what we draw.
Yes, please. Ice-fang Codal. See what we draw. Into the north. Okay. There's a Winter's Rest. So we can play Faceless Haven. We can put Karn back down to 1. We can hope that they just, like, whiffed on those draws, I guess. I guess it's technically possible. Tap down Kozilek. Everybody at Karn. We don't want Karn to downtick and get rid of Winter's Rest. That'd be very sad. And I guess I want to cast Into the North and maybe also Ascendant Spirit here. Guess I just get another Rimewood Falls, right? Might as well. And Ascendant Spirit. Okay. Well, we're alive. I think we just ditch ice-fang Codal since Glacial Revelation is worth so many cards. Opponent casts Ugin. Well, we had our fun. We tapped down the Kozilek, but Ugin -2 I think does it. We can Glacial Revelation and get... Oh, there's KG. Okay, well, they have Planeswalker Tron now, too. What are they getting with KGC, I wonder? Liquid Metal Coating. That's not fun. It's no fun when my opponent has KGC Liquid Metal Coating. Alright, let's Glacial Revelation and see what we get. Tron. Damn you, Tron. I'll let them get the Annihilator trigger in and then concede. Yeah, well, at least you basically got to see the same situation as I had happen to me last time. I didn't die to Kozilek, I died to Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger, both times, but it feels pretty similar. GG's to our opponent. I will concede. And overall, I'm pretty happy with this deck. It didn't, like, it's not super competitive or anything, but it's very fun and it's a nice seasonally thematic snow deck. I might try a Sultai version of it sometime in the future, but probably not anytime soon. And I will see you in the next week whenever I do more videos. See you then.
Hey everyone, Shoe Nice again. Well, basically, go subscribe to Tezzey's YouTube channel. And for those who made it to the end of the video, thank you.